Alright, in this lesson I have a Hunter Garcia composition for you, Run for the Roses. This first appeared on one of Jerry's solo albums and was it showed up a lot in his repertoire with JGB and his own solo stuff, either him playing solo or with John Kahn. So this solo is an acoustic rendition. It's something he would play when he was playing solo with John Kahn on bass. Alright, so because of that, it was just him on guitar and John Kahn on bass. So when he soloed, he also had to really make sure that that harmony was coming out. So one thing he did to do this was, well, I said that he often played out of the caged shapes. So there's no difference in this solo. He does that as well. But he lets the notes ring out when he holds a chord shape as long as possible so that they ring out and you can really hear that the chords behind it. So that's a great thing to do when you're playing either by yourself or with just you and a bass player, and you really want to be able to have the harmony come out. You can play out of chord shapes and then let the notes kind of ring as long as possible, and you really hear those chords behind it. But as I said, Jerry had such a strong sense of melodicism that he didn't have to do that. His melodies and solos, you could still hear the chords behind it. But in this case, when he was playing acoustic and he held those chord shapes and really let those notes ring, you could hear it even more. So it's a great technique to try, and I think it sounds great. Alright, so I did play this solo by myself, so it'd be something that he would play with John Kahn playing bass. But as I said, it also sounds great with chords in the background, so I also recorded myself playing it over with the chords in the background. So here's an example of that. Hey, if you like what you've seen so far, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, give me as much support as possible. Alright, thanks a lot. So the solo starts out in 9th position, and it's important to see the chord shapes that he's playing out of, because Jerry was playing out of the cage shapes, and by holding these chord shapes and letting them ring for as long as they can, it provided some harmony while it was just him and John Kahn playing bass. So whether it was him and John Kahn or just him by himself, by letting these chords ring out as long as possible, you hear that harmony in the background. But as I've said many times, Jerry's melodies were so strong that you don't need any of that to actually hear the chords that are going on behind it. But it's a good thing to learn to kind of let things ring out as long as possible to get that extra harmony if you're playing by yourself or just you and a bass player. So we've got this partial bar that comes from the G cage shaped. So we're going to slide into the 9th fret on the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So we have the 5th, root, and 3rd of an E chord. Then we play 9th fret, 2nd, 3rd, 4th string, then 3rd, 2nd string. So we have then we play A, 10th fret of the 2nd string. So now we're on the A chord. So over the E chord, we're playing the notes of an E triad. Then we have an A, the root ringing over an A chord. So now we're going to start on the third of an A, C sharp. Now kind of see this chord shape from a C cage shape. So we're starting on the third, and we're going to play C sharp, or 11th fret of the 4th string, E, 3rd fret of the 3rd string. Then we have the 10th fret. This is a passing note on the 3rd string, the F sharp. So now we're on the D chord, and we're playing the 3rd of a D, F sharp. And we're playing a 6th interval, so we have the F sharp and the root. And this is out of the classic E position cage shape. So far we have so note again that we've got the top half of the C caged position. Looks like a D chord that you would play down on the 2nd fret. But we're going to play 9th fret of the 1st string, C sharp, or the 3rd of A. Then we have the A, 10th fret of the 2nd string. Then we're going to play 9th fret of the 2nd string, G sharp, and 9th fret of the 3rd string, E. So that's over the A chord, and now we're on an E chord, and we're going to continue to play those two notes, G sharp and E. So we play G sharp, E, G sharp, and then B. So right there, that's a triad. We have E, G sharp, B. So the notes of an E chord. Then we play 10th fret of the 2nd string, A, because we're now on an A chord. So that part sounds like put that together. And then we're going to hold down this middle part of the C position, the C shape, cage shape. So we have C sharp, E, A, and we're going to kind of just sweep down those 3 strings and then play the 9th fret of the 2nd string, which is G sharp, and now we're over the E chord. And then we walk up those 3 notes again, so B, E, G sharp, and then we play 12, 10, 9. And actually we pull that off. And then we have 10, 9, 10, 12 on the 2nd string. And 9th fret of the 1st string. This is over the A now. And then we're going to play that 6th interval again, but leading up to it we have this triplet figure. So let's take it from here. And then we're going to play that F sharp and D again, and then over the A we're going back to this top part of the C cage shape, and we're playing 9th fret of the 1st string, 10th fret of the 2nd string. So we have so over the E chord, E to A, we have 12, 9, 12, 12. So that's the 5th and 3rd of an E chord. And then we're going to slide that 9th fret up to the 10th fret, and we have the root of A. So everything we have so far. Alright, over the F sharp we have this. So we start on an A, the 10th fret of the 2nd string, and that's the flat 3rd of an F sharp minor chord. And look at this shape, this F sharp minor up on the 9th fret. So we have chromatic passing tone or neighbor tone, then 9, 9 of the 2nd to 3rd string. We play that again. We're on an E chord now. Then we're gonna play, so that's the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Then we're gonna slide from the 11th to the 13th fret of the 3rd string, sliding into the 3rd of an E chord, and then playing the root. So again, we have a 6th interval, like we did down here with the D. Then we're going to play F natural, 10th fret of the 3rd string, and that's a chromatic tone, a lead-in tone for the F sharp. So we're going to play that 11th fret of the 3rd string, 10th fret of the 1st string. So that's a 6th interval, a whole step down from the one we just played. So this time it's over the D chord. So we have, then we have all right, so I'm just gonna back up to this 6th over the D. So we have a change, a quick change. It's D, A, E, A. So over that, we're playing over the D chord. We have F sharp to D. Then we play the F sharp again. Then over the A, we have the 3rd to the root. And then over the E chord, we have the 5th to the 3rd. And then over the A, we play the root. So this next 9th fret of the 3rd string coming up, that anticipates the next chord, which is an E. And we have so over the E chord again, we have the 3rd of the chord and the root of the chord. So we have, and now the 5th. Then we're going to pull off 12, 10, 9, and then 10th fret. Then over the A chord, we have 10, 9, 10, 12 of the 2nd string, 9th fret of the 1st string. We're gonna slide in from the F natural to the F sharp, and then play 10th fret of the 1st string. So we have that 6th interval again. That's anticipating this D chord. So we play the F sharp again, and then the 10th fret again of the 1st string. Then we have, let's see. All right, so after we play that 6th interval twice, we're gonna pull off 10 to 9th fret of the 1st string, play the 10th fret of the 2nd string, and then we start a sequence, something Jerry was fond of. We have 9th fret of the 1st string, followed by 12, 10, 9 of the 2nd. So that's 4 notes accenting the 1st. Then we're going to start on the 12th fret of the 2nd string, accent that and play 4 notes down the scale. So we have then 9, 10 of the 2nd string. And then 11th fret of the 3rd string, that's an F sharp, and that's the root of the F sharp chord we're now playing. And then we have 10th fret of the 2nd string, then 9, 9, 9. So over this E chord we're playing 3rd, root, 5th, sliding down to the 7th fret. Now over this D chord we have F sharp, 3rd, D, root, A, 5th. So we have, and then over this D chord we're going to play, so that's this D triad, and then we're hammering on the 9th fret of the 4th string and the 8th fret of the 3rd string. It's now a G triad, but it gives us a nice sus sound. So we have all right, we'll do the whole thing slowly. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.